This is a video reference for how to play all 12 major scales on the piano. I have a longer, more thorough guide for how to practice your scales depending on your goals, and I'll link to that. You're also welcome to pick up my visual guide that shows the shapes of all 12 major scales, arranged by the order of the circle of fifths. We're starting with 1-octave fingerings for the right hand. First, a quick review of finger numbers. Finger 1 is the thumb on both hands, and you count out from there. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. C major starts 1, 2, 3, cross to finger 1, and that's this little thumb motion like this. So I cross from 3 to finger 1, and then I walk all the way up to the top of my hand, finger 5. And this is true for every right hand 1-octave fingering. We use the same finger numbers on the way back down. So I'll come back down on the same fingers I just used, and then I cross to finger 3 where I came from. Once more, C major is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, you get the next 5 keys for free because all of the other sharp keys use the same fingerings for 1-octave right-hand scales. For example, G major adds 1 sharp, F sharp, but it uses the same fingering. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the same coming back down. As we go clockwise around the circle of fifths, we'll be adding 1 sharp. So where we had F sharp in our G major scale, we'll hold on to that F sharp for D major and add C sharp. Here's D major. A major uses the same fingering again. We'll keep F sharp and C sharp, but add G sharp. In E major, we now have 4 sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Same fingering as the other sharp keys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same fingers coming back down. And our last sharp key that reuses this fingering is B major, 5 sharps. Now let's address the flat keys. The flat keys also share one fingering rule, but it has a different logic. In this case, we're always going to put finger 1, our thumb, on C and F, regardless of where they are in the scale. We can start with F major. We'll put finger 1 on F, and we don't cross our thumb under until we get to C, which is after finger 4. So for F major, we have a group of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another group of 4 to finish the scale. B flat major also puts our thumb on C and on F. We have 2 flats, B flat and E flat. So we'll start on finger 2 just for convenience. It can really be any finger other than our thumb to start with. In the multi-octave scale, this would be finger 4, but it doesn't really matter where we start. So I'm going to start on finger 2, immediately cross to finger 1, and then my next thumb crossing is here to the F. And there is my 1 octave B flat major scale for right hand. E flat major now has 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. We'll start on finger 2 again and immediately have 4 fingers following our thumb. Then we cross for the C. So again, our thumb is on C and on F. A flat follows the same rule. Thumb is on C and on F. We have 4 flats now, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Here's the scale. We'll start on finger 2, cross to 1, cross to 1. D flat now has 5 flats, every black key, and we'll just be putting our thumb on the F and the C. For G flat major or F sharp major, we're just going to be putting our thumb on the white keys in the scale. Now in G flat, we can think of this as G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, and F. So we've actually got 6 flats in the scale if we include the C flat. Why would we want to call this a C flat? Well, we like to only have 1 note per letter name, and we've already used a B flat. So that's why we would say the G flat major scale has 6 flats. F sharp is the inverse of this. It has 6 sharps. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B natural, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, and F sharp. The fingering for G flat or F sharp major will be different if you're just playing 1 octave compared to multiple octaves. You'll just want to put your thumb on this B or C flat and then finish up the scale all the way up to finger 5. For multiple octaves, you'll see that we will put our thumb on this white key here so we can continue on. But for a 1 octave scale, you can just go all the way up to finger 5 and come back around. Let's now cover how to play multiple octaves with the right hand. To play as many octaves as you'd like in the right hand, our fingerings are mostly the same. With the sharp keys, we just need to delay using finger 5 until we want to finish the scale. So we'll cross after 3, then we'll cross after 4, and that restarts the pattern. If I want to stop after 2 octaves, I can use finger 5. If I wanted to keep going, I would just cross to finger 1 again. And as before, we'll use the same fingers coming down as we did coming up. This is a good introduction to a basic rule of multi-octave fingerings. We'll always end up with 1 group of 3 and 1 group of 4 between thumb crossings. This makes sense because we have 7 notes in the scale, so 3 plus 4 gives us our repeating pattern. This is easier to see across multiple octaves of a scale because the extremes of the scale, the very beginning and the very end, sometimes have different fingering rules. So for the right hand multiple octaves, 3 plus 4 works for all of your sharp keys. For the flat keys, you can use the same fingerings where you're always putting the thumb on C and on F, and they'll serve you very well to continue across multiple octaves. Now let's talk about left hand. For most of the sharp keys, our left hand is a mirror image of our right hand. And we can see this easily in C major, for example. Playing the scale descending works exactly the same as playing the scale ascending for our right hand. In practice, this means that our 1 octave fingerings for most of the sharp keys are always going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and the same going back down. And for multiple octaves, we'll just cross over finger 1 at the top of the scale to finger 4. Same going back down. Once we reach finger 4, we'll need to cross back to finger 1. This same fingering logic applies to all of the sharp keys all the way up to E in the circle of fifths. B is an exception. We'll come back to B major and look at it together with G flat. So to help you out with all 5 of those keys, let's look at a really slowed down two-handed version of the scale so you can see the coordination of the finger numbers. As I said, you can apply those same fingerings to C, G, D, A, and E. And actually, there's a bonus key that also shares the same fingering. It's a flat key, F major. So your left hand behaves the same in F major as it does in those sharp keys. The right hand will be different, so your two-handed coordination is a little different. In the next 4 flat keys, the left hand has one consistent fingering, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is in B flat, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that also applies when you go to multiple octaves, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. E flat looks like this. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can always finish these scales with 3 if you'd like to follow the pattern, or you can also just use finger 2 because you're about to just turn right back around. It doesn't actually matter whether you use 2 or 3 or 4. Here's A flat, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn around however you'd like. And the same for D flat. Now let's look at the left hand for G flat and for B major. These are outliers. For G flat, it's very simple. You'll start on finger 4 and cross to 3. You can continue that for however many octaves you need, 4 and then 3. And then you can turn around with whatever finger you like. So it's easy to see the thumb groupings of 3 and 4 are consistent. For B major, our pattern that we fall into across multiple octaves is 3, 2, 1 on these notes and 4, 3, 2, 1 here. We need to start on B though, so we'll start on finger 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the same fingers on the way back down. One thing you notice about all of these fingerings, we're keeping finger 1 on the white keys whenever possible. And if you keep that guideline in mind, you can generally find your own fingerings for anything you want to play on the piano that will work well. But learning these basic fingerings for your major scales by rote is a great place to start to get in good habits for economical fingerings that won't get you mixed up at the piano. And that's it. You now have the information to play every major scale with both hands across multiple octaves. Have fun with these, and as I said, if you'd like more in-depth guidance for how to practice your major scales, depending on what you want to get out of them, I have another video that discusses that topic. I'm Ted. Happy practicing.